Hi there. The purpose of this video is to compare the fees of various popular CS skin trading websites. This video is not sponsored by any website, and figures from this video is based solely on my research, which can contain estimation errors. With that out of the way, a bit of background. In May 2024, Buff163 has banned foreigners from using its website. I have been keeping a lookout for other options since. Buff is still the site with the highest trading volume for any Counter-Strike skin trading as shown on screen. It is owned by one of the largest companies in China, NetEase. Skins are typically 20 to 30% below prices on Steam. Transactions are conducted in cash, with only a 2.5% transaction fee, whereas Steam charges about 13%. I am only going to present some of the more common names in this video, as smaller websites have other type of risks. There is also another option, which is to use cash traders. Let's dive in. There are 4 broad types of websites: peer-to-peer, hybrid bot trading websites, pure bot trading websites, and Cashout websites. Each come with their advantage and disadvantages. However, pure bot trading sites and Cashout sites often make a significant profit margin that may be detrimental to their users. You need to tread very carefully on which sites to use, which this video will get into. Let's start now with peer-to-peer sites, which is what I recommend for people who are willing to wait for another person to buy their item. This is the closest we have to a stock market, and Buff is a website operating under this format. The website only acts as a middleman between two parties. Fees are charged on a percentage basis of sale price. Typically, money can be deposited to purchase skins, and money from the skins you sell will be stored as a balance on the website, which you can purchase other skins with. Alternatively, you can also withdraw, although it may incur additional fees. Now looking at specific websites. We start with Buff163. This is the largest platform in the world for CS skin trading, and it is a peer-to-peer website with a 2.5% selling fee, as well as 1% withdrawal fee to bank account cards. However, the problem with this for most of my audience is that the site has blocked non-Chinese citizens from selling or withdrawing, effectively rendering the site useless unless you are Chinese. Despite this, it is still the go-to site for price checks due to the sheer volume of trades on the website, along with Chinese nationals performing arbitrage trades to close any price gaps between other trading platforms. Next, the biggest player in this space in the Western Hemisphere is CS Float, also known by their database tool, FloatDB. They charge one of the lowest fees in the industry at 2% of sales value. The site is transparent and reliable. This is the platform I would recommend for people who are new to the scene. However, do note there is a 0.5% to 2.5% withdrawal fee on the funds stored on the website, depending on your preferred method. The next is Buff Market. Buff Market is owned by NetEase, which also owns Buff163. Buff Market operates in a similar fashion to Buff163, albeit this platform is open to Western users. The site also charges 2.5% selling fee. However, there is both a deposit and withdrawal fee which amounts to 3% and 1% plus $8 respectively, which can be quite hefty. CS Money offers peer-to-peer trading as well in its market mode. The website is a little confusing as it offers 3 modes, of which trade mode is a bot trading system we will talk about later, market mode, which is peer-to-peer trading, and instant cash out, which we will also talk about later. For the purpose of its market mode, which is peer-to-peer, the fees are 4.2% on deposit, 5% on low value sales, and 3% on high value sales, plus 1 to 2% on withdrawals. The website defines high value trades as those above $1,000 US. This is quite high compared to some of the others we have seen on this list. The last peer-to-peer platform I want to talk about is Youping, also known as Youping898. This site is known for being the largest skin renting platform in the world and has since expanded into being a peer-to-peer trading website. Contrasting with Buff163, selling is allowed by non-Chinese citizens. This is currently the best way for Western users to gain access to the massive Chinese buyer market. Additionally, there is no transaction fees and only a 1% withdrawal fee. The downside is that the website operates in Chinese yuan, but you are allowed to spend your balance on the site, so it is somewhat usable for most of my audience. I want to make a note that for some reasons, only the app grants access to non-Chinese citizens, and the identity check process is quite complicated. So that was all for peer-to-peer trading sites. I know there are a few others, but this video just aims to introduce the largest ones. I personally think the winner here is CS Float for its ease of access for Western players. However, if you have Chinese access, both Yelping and Buff163 can be quite attractive. Before moving on to pure bot trading websites, I want to touch on a hybrid system which websites like Skinport and SkinBaron implements. Whilst not a concern for many including myself, most peer-to-peer sites like CS Float and its extension tracks user activity on Steam pages, which could pose potential security or privacy risks. Buff uses a slightly different method, which is validating trades by API as well as hijacking Steam sessions, but less private nevertheless. Hence, this is why the hybrid system exists. The way these sites work is users can list a skin for sale by depositing the skin to a platform bot, then waiting for someone to buy it on the website marketplace. They typically charge a higher fee, but can be less risky in terms of privacy. We start with Skinport, which is probably the most well known of these hybrid models. The site charges 12% for lower valued items and 6% for higher valued items. High value as defined by the site is $1,000 US. Skinport also offers a private sale function whereby the website acts as a middleman. Listing using this function will not be visible to the public, and it is at a decreased cost of 2%. This would be ideal if you want to trade with an untrustworthy counterpart. SkinBaron operates in the same way to Skinport. However, its fees are higher compared to Skinport if you do not use bank transfers. For higher valued items, it charges a 2% selling fee, and for lower valued items, the site charges a 15% selling fee. However, unlike Skinport which has no withdrawal fees, SkinBaron charges 5% if you do not use bank transfer. This is charged again on withdrawal. The site also offers private listing function for 7.5% and 1% fee respectively. Here is a quick overview of the two hybrid websites we just looked at. Lastly, I want to touch on bot trading websites, whereby transactions are instant, but prices are determined solely by the website. These websites can be useful for those who are wishing for a quick and secure transaction and are less sensitive to prices. I would recommend these if speed was your main concern. There are also a couple of niches under the large branch of bot trading websites, those which allow for withdrawals and those which do not. The ones which allow for withdrawals are often called instant sell or Cashout websites. We start with the websites which do not allow withdrawals. It is a bit more complicated assessing the fees charged on these websites. The reason being that skin value may deviate from reality and it is difficult to adjust them. For example, a site may offer you $10 for a $5 skin, which might sound good in theory, but a $5 skin might cost you $15 on the site. The difference is the profit for the website. All the figures presented on the following slides calculates fees by taking the margin of difference between the margin of trades compared to Buff163 prices. The most prominent of these websites is probably SkinsMonkey. All data is at 27th of December 2024 when I did my research. I have found that on average across 7 liquid items in different categories, SkinsMonkey offers a 44.75% premium for items compared to Buff, but also sells the same 7 items for 56.35% premium. Taking the margin by division, I calculate their average margin to be 7.4%. Keep in mind that this is a small sample size. By doing an additional simple subtraction, what is interesting to me is that they offer a 35% deposit bonus for most payment methods. This means that from their 56% premium they charge on sales, they make 21%. This is a very high margin. Now let's move on to itrade.gg. The owner of this website is a friend of mine, but I will try to remain impartial here. The total margin came out to about 5.85% from my estimates, which is quite close to the 4 to 7% the owner tells me he tries to make. There is also no deposit feature on the website just yet. One thing I want to note is that itrade.gg and CS Money both consider overpay for stickers, and CS Money also considers float overpay, whereas the other sites do not. This is something to consider if you have a low float field tested item or one with an expensive sticker. For the purpose of this video, I have deducted overpay from all items in the list I used for research to ensure consistency. Next we talk about trader.gg. I want to note that this website also has an instant cash out function in a different place to its normal bot trading function. The normal bot trading function has a margin of approximately 9% from my research. With the premium averaging 83%, and a deposit bonus of 35%, this means that there is also a margin of over 48% on cash deposits. This is the highest on the list. Swap.gg is another site you may have heard of. From my research, the profit margin from trade is about 7.81%, and margin for cash deposits using a 30% deposit bonus is about 31.49%. This site also offers an instant cash out function, which we will touch on after. In CS Money's trade mode, which is its bot mode, its margin approximates to 14.88%, and it does not offer a cash deposit bonus, which means its margin from cash deposits approximates to 25.11%. Again, CS Money offers an instant cash out function as well. Overall, as you can see on screen, bot trading websites make quite a significant margin of trading, but even more from cash deposits. Out of the 5 websites we have looked at, CS Money makes the most from trading at over 14%, whilst iTrade.gg makes the least. From deposits, Trader.gg takes a whopping 48%, which is quite astonishing and disadvantageous for the user. Anyways, let's talk about the websites with an instant cash out function. These allow users to sell items for cash immediately. We start with the 3 websites that we have already spoke about. Trader.gg has this functionality in addition to the no withdrawal bot trades. By my testing of 7 items, the discount which they use to make a profit amount to 19.63%. This is quite negative for its users, only beaten by the margin of some cash deposits from before. Swap.gg makes less of a profit from this cash out function, but it is still significant at 18.29% from the average of 7 items I tested. I want to note here that Swap.gg only cashes out to crypto. CS Money offers the same function as well. It is called cash out on its site. I was not able to test the discount as CS Money does not operate in Australia by this function, but from my research, the discount is also significant, which is similar to Trader.gg and Swap.gg. Now let's talk about 2 pure cash out websites in Skin Cashier and Skins.cash. I have not used these personally, however, by my estimations using the same 7 skins, the websites pay out with a discount of 22.75% and 18.36% on average compared to Buff163, which is again quite abysmal. Here is an overview of these cash out websites that I tested. I will not use these unless you are desperate for cash. Finally, before we conclude this video, I want to mention cash traders. Cash traders are private buyers of skins that are often willing to buy or trade your skins at a discount to peer-to-peer sites. Most commonly, they use Buff163 prices as a reference, and quote prices in terms of 90% or 95% buff. The problem with these traders is that you can face scams relatively easily unless you have 100% faith in the counterparty. The YouTuber TDM Jesus is probably one of the most well known of the bunch, and he is quite trustworthy, but please do use cash traders at your own discretion. Hope you have found this video useful. It took a lot of work to put this together, and I would really appreciate a like and a subscribe. I am also open to skin donations. On that bombshell, thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.